Welcome back, everybody. The House is set to start its debate over the Bipartisan Jobs Act. Joining us right now with the preview is House Majority Leader Eric Cantor. And Eric, good morning to you.
Becky, good to be back.
You know, I'm excited to talk about the Jobs Act, but before we get to that, I do want to ask what you think about the results from Super Tuesday. I know that you came out over the weekend and threw your support behind Mitt Romney, and Mitt Romney won Ohio. That's a key battleground, but Santorum picked up some key races, too, and by winning Oklahoma and Tennessee, people say that this race is not going to be over by a long shot yet. What do you think?
Well, Becky, Mitt Romney did what he had to do. He put away 6 out of the 10 states last night, and obviously he won my state of Virginia. And if you listen to what the folks are saying in the states that he won, it was about jobs and the economy. It was about Mitt Romney's leadership track record on getting results and fixing problems. And I think that's what the electorate is going to want to see. It's going to be a stark choice in November, Mitt Romney versus Barack Obama. Who can best address the challenge of the economy facing this country? And without a doubt, it is Mitt Romney.
It does make for a longer, more drawn-out battle, and I guess I'm wondering what you think that's going to mean for the eventual nominee.
Well, it is watching our party coalesce around the central issue of this campaign, which is jobs and Mitt Romney is the only candidate in the primary contest and versus the president who has an economic plan to get this country and the economy back on track. And I think that process in and of itself will be to our benefit as we move towards November.
Let's talk about that Jobs Act, because that is something that is so important to the nation. This is something that there is some bipartisan support for. You think it can get passed?
I do, Becky. I'm very excited. There seems to be a window of opportunity around our Jobs Act. It's jumpstart our business startups. This bill goes directly to the issue that is confounding small businessmen and women, entrepreneurs and investors. It's too difficult right now to start up a business, to retain and create jobs. What this bill does is it removes some of the red tape to allow entrepreneurial activity to flourish and investment to start so we can see jobs created.
Our guest host today is Mr. Stenberg, and Tom, if you take a look at this Jobs Act, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I was proud to be part of Leader Cantor's YG summit down in Washington to discuss this act. And Leader Cantor is one of the people in Washington who actually gets it, who understands that things like Sarbanes-Oxley and some of its mandates and the Dodd-Frank Act create tremendous impediments to small business. And under this act, for example, you're going to have to be $1 billion company before you have to fully comply with Sarbanes-Oxley, which if a small company costs you a couple $1 million in the first year and over $1 million each succeeding year. Putting an on-ramp to that really makes it much easier for companies to go public versus to sell out to some big company. And the companies who go public typically create more jobs than the ones that are sold to an IBM or an Oracle. So I think this is a wonderful thing that the leader is pursuing.
Hey, Eric, did you ever know that you were one of the elites of the Republican? It's weird that suddenly that if you're backing Romney, you become one of the Republican elites, one of the establishment type. I just was wondering whether you knew you were one and how you felt about it.
All of a sudden, Joe, all of a sudden. You know, look, what Romney is doing is beginning to attract those of us who really believe in free enterprise. And Mitt Romney has got a tremendous track record in the free enterprise economy. I mean, Tom, you've had the experience. You've built businesses. So has Mitt Romney. You've created jobs. So has Mitt Romney. And, you know, that's the kind of coalition that is beginning to get behind Mitt Romney once he released his economic plan that is pro-growth and is bold. And we look to be able to complement that with our work here in Congress.
Here's what I mean, though. I mean, Santorum has obviously appeals to a certain part of the Republican Party, and Newt Gingrich appeals to another part of the party. When it's all said and done, and I don't know how long it takes, I don't know who takes people aside if you do assume Romney's going to be the nominee, because you know, these things die hard for people that have a dream to run, so it's going to take a while. But do you think that their respective backers will be energized enough when the election comes, because it's going to take a lot of energy and a lot of turnout to try to beat President Obama, and you wonder if they're you know, if they're mixed about their feelings for Romney, whether they're going to really be energized.
I do, Joe. I think that what we're going to see is a continued building of the Romney campaign as a campaign with a leader that stands in stark contrast to this president and his track record on the #1 issue this November, which is jobs and the economy. Mitt Romney's the only one who can stand up to that, who can demonstrate a track record of solving problems as far as the deficit's concerned, the budget, and getting this economy back on track so we can grow it again.
Leader, when you talk about the budget and the deficit, I'm curious. Romney's tax plan, while getting a lot of points for creating jobs and opening up the business community, and also, though, has been scored such that there is a view that it could ultimately cost us $3 trillion in terms of how it gets paid for, and there's a big question of whether it's going to ultimately add to the deficit. What do you make of that?
Well, let's get the facts straight here. First of all, Mitt Romney's economic plan reduces tax rates on everybody who pays income taxes. That is a pro-growth policy. And if you look at the analysis that has been thrown out there about the plan, it absolutely disregards any pro-growth aspects of lower tax rates. And we know that lowering marginal rates will increase growth in our economy. We know that reducing red tape on small businesses and investors will grow our economy. Again, getting back to the point of the Jobs Act, we found a way to work together across the aisle in Congress, bringing Americans together in the same way that I think Mitt Romney's message is going to do what he needs to do, not only within our party, but in the wider electorate come November.
All right. Leader Cantor, we want to thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you all.